Barbecue, 10655 Person Boulevard. Restaurant's been around for a while, but not this location. They are known for their fabulous barbecue. Whoops, I'm not plugged in. Give me that. You can throw that. My plug fell out. I didn't think I was at that age yet. I am, yeah, my plug fell out. Anyway, we are live at Bayou Barbecue. Glad to have you along with us. 10655 Coursey Boulevard, and we are glad to have you along with us today. Lots going on, but work it into your schedule. Come on by and have lunch. This is the best barbecue in town. Everybody says so. Got some people eating in the bar that agree. Rodney, how are you?
Doing good. How are you today?
I figure you're taking a couple days. Rodney Mallet with DOTD is here. Come up here. Come on up here.
How you doing, sir?
I'm good. Come on around here so everybody can see you.
Oh, Lord.
Speak into my lapel.
Hey there.
How are things at DOTD?
Things are going great. We're very busy right now.
I can imagine you are. I can imagine you are.
So we're seeing good things. We're going to see the College Drive exit. It's going to be starting here real soon. We're about to finish up with Government Street. We finished up with Brightside. So, yeah, there's a lot of good things going on.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. I know you are busy during the floods.
Oh, gosh, that's always something.
Always something. Well, good to see you as always.
Good to see you. How you been?
I'm hanging in and hanging on.
Great.
I wanted to start with flooding in East Baton Rouge Parish. We've got some numbers now on this. You know, for what was predicted to be a very small scale event, it turned out to be very large scale. At current count, 693 homes in East Baton Rouge Parish damaged by rising water. Now I say at current count because we still don't have the complete count. There is a self-damage survey report, by the way, that you can find online, and I encourage you to go ahead and fill it out. It will help to get to you more quickly. Now, officials with City Parish are awaiting federal disaster money, which will be coming. We got ahead of this. We got a disaster declaration on day number 1 of this. But it's still probably going to take a matter of weeks to actually get started. Now, again, when you see, maybe not your neighborhood, but maybe on your way to work, you see a neighborhood with 10 or 15 houses, and they've got all kinds of drywall and furniture that was damaged and all that piled up by the curb. Our normal waste management system cannot handle that. You have to get these debris haulers. They have to sign a contract. They have to meet certain specifications so they don't drive all over our lawns and dump stuff all over and have unsafe vehicles. And it takes a while to bring them in. Now, I tell you this because we are not the only large metropolitan area that had a lot of flooding from this event. There was flooding from Houston all the way into Plaquemines Parish. There was flooding in southwest Mississippi. And so, you know, you've seen these trucks. They're kind of like an open back box truck, and they got a little seat where an operator gets out of the driver's seat and gets the claw and pulls the debris off and puts it into the back. Well, they don't have hundreds of those just sitting around waiting. So we're going to have to find contractor or contractors that can get to East Baton Rouge Parish and take care of our debris. The word is right now that it's not going to start for a few weeks at the very, very earliest. And I hate it when people say this to my ears, but I guess I need to kind of swallow it and say it to your ears. Be patient. Be very, very patient. And also, do not let your kids make forts out of those debris piles. Stay away from those debris piles. It is the time of year when critters are all over this area. You got possums that might be sheltering in those things. You got snakes. I dare say you might even have small alligators if you're near a regular body of water and you got flood. There are going to be rats, there are going to be vermin of all kinds. Do not let your kids play in or around those debris piles. And oh, by the way, all you adults, lead by example. Keep your butts away from those debris piles too. Let me tell you what, if you come up upon a possum that's got babies and you startle that possum, you are going to have a bad day. They have claws, they have teeth, and they are very, very fast when they're cornered. So anyway, that's where we are on that. Time to take a break. We'll be back in just a moment on Exiles TV. Stick around.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
I'm self-employed and didn't report all my income. They claim I owe a lot more than I do.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
Tax Solutions Now saved my business.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 800-778-4345. 800-778-4345.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Welcome back to Exiles TV. I'm Bill Profita. So glad to have you along with us. Today is the one-year anniversary of the death of George Floyd. And I am not going to belabor that point. I think there is much that has been said and much that probably will be said. And I have something that's a little ironic to say about that. Yesterday evening, the day before the anniversary of George Floyd's death, the incident that started this defund the police movement in this country, the editorial board of CNN, of all people, put out an editorial about depolicing and defunding the police. Here is what they have found. They have found that defunding the police and shifting the money to other areas is so not working that now cities and towns are asking for that money back to put in their police force. It seems it took 7 or 8 months for these feel-good people to understand that when you announce you're taking $150 million away, or $2 million, or $10 million away from the police department, the criminals say, ooh, boy, we have an unprecedented rise in crime in the United States of America. And in cities where they have defunded the police, or diverted some of the money from police departments, it's even higher. In New York City, for example, they took $150 million away from the new police budget. Crime has skyrocketed in a city that historically, at least for the last 15, 20 years, has had crime under control. So now, the same people in New York who voted on their city council to defund the police, those same people want to hire 250 more police officers in the city of New York, which will cost, wait for it, about $150 million. In Minneapolis, where this all started, where their mayor and their town council voted to defund the police, not only is crime at an all-time high, but they are also down to, are you ready for this? 200 street-ready police officers. Now, Minneapolis is the 16th largest city in this country. To give you an example, the city of Baton Rouge, B.R.P.D, has just under 3 times more than that serving as sworn officers who actually patrol our streets and lock people up on this very day. In places like Los Angeles, where they have diverted police funds into social services to try to help with their mental health programs, the mental health programs on the street, at the street level, have gotten better. But the street crime has also grown to where the strides they are making with mental health in Los Angeles don't really matter that much. So what we are going to see, and let me remind you, this was done by the research and editorial department of CNN, the people who originally publicized the defund the police movement to a large extent. It just doesn't work. All it does is give criminals more opportunity to not get apprehended. And that is the crux of it. I think we're going to see a lot more when it comes down to it, of areas. Now, every metropolitan area in this country is spiking in crime. But if you look at cities that defunded their police departments, took away some of their funding, if you look at Seattle, if you look at Portland, if you look at New York City, if you look at Boston, if you look at Minneapolis, they cannot deny that crime is completely out of control. And now, all these mayors, all these council members who wanted to take $150 million in New York away from NYPD and put it into social services are begging to have that money back so they can hire 250 more police officers. The city of Minneapolis, where this all started, where they were unanimous on their council and their mayor's office that they were going to defund the police department to bring about some sort of weird idea of social justice. See, I don't understand how defunding the police punishes the police. All it does is punish the public, who are victims of more crime because the bad guys say, hey, whole lot less police out there for us. Minneapolis is down to 200 sworn officers. This is the 16th largest city in the United States of America. And I'm not talking about the entire county with St. Paul, which is its own city. 200 sworn officers on the street. The conclusion, by the way, of the editorial board of CNN is that all these geniuses that thought they would bring about social justice by defunding the police, have now turned the poorest and, yes, the darkest parts of our communities, the brown and the black parts of our communities, into a bigger crime scene than they ever were before. And so now they're trying to reverse their stupidity. Good luck with that. Back in a moment on Exiles TV. Stick around. All right.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to greystonecountryclub.com.
From appetizers, pasta dishes, and entrees, La Contea takes pride in preparing all the Italian cuisine we know you love. Enjoy live music every Thursday through Saturday from 6 to 9, happy hour weekdays from 3 to 6, and brunch on Sundays from 11 to 2, as well as dinner portion-sized lunch specials for under $10. Visit our website to view our menu and book a party or meeting in our large banquet room. Once you try La Contea, your Italian dining will change forever.
This is State Treasurer John Schroeder urging you to check your mailbox. We just mailed out $4.5 million of unclaimed property checks to people across Louisiana. Unclaimed property is lost money turned over to the Department of Treasury so we can return it to you. The process is so easy, you can claim it right from your phone. Check for yourself, check for your family, and don't forget to check your businesses. This is your money. Claim it. Check your mailbox. And cash your check. It's that easy.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
The selection is deep, and the time to get a used car is right now from the Team Automotive Group. Shop and save on over 125 certified vehicles and choose from more than 700 pre-owned vehicles at any of our team locations. Or log on anytime at teamautouse.com.
Welcome back to Exiles TV. Glad to have you with us. We are live at Bayou Smokehouse, Bayou Barbecue on Coursey Boulevard, 10655. Got a pretty good lunch crowd in here today, but there's always room for you. If you want some nice barbecue, this would be the place. We are joined today by a few folks from Baton Rouge Police Department, B.R.P.D. Directly next to me, Deputy Chief Neil Noel, and next to him, Captain Wayne Martin, who is the Uniform Patrol Commander. And the reason I had them here, have them with me, is we have been talking a lot about flooding. We have been talking about, we have had, I guess, probably 2.5 months where flooding was fairly imminent. And then we had 6 days where we really did get some flooding. And it's hard to prepare for something when it's a weather event that you don't have a lot of accurate warning. A hurricane, you know days before it's coming in.
Right.
Every hour you can see its direction. You can see its wind speed. You can look at the radar and you can see what's reaching into Baton Rouge. A lot of this stuff, and I'm not faulting the meteorologists, a lot of this stuff was not predictable. On Sunday, a week ago, they were saying, yeah, we might get 5 inches over the next 5 days. And we had some areas of Baton Rouge they got 13 and a half inches in 2 hours, I believe, on Thursday or Wednesday. And when that happens, you guys probably get the first 911 calls when somebody is in trouble. So first of all, how do you prepare for this, fellas?
Thank you, Bill. So yeah, we don't always have a clear picture of what's going to take place, especially something as dynamic as weather. As you know, what we do have on our side is a plan. And part of that plan relies on all of our partners in city, parish, and state government. Unfortunately, since 2016, we've had a lot of practice. Our Mayor's Office of Homeland Security Emergency Preparedness, along with the Fire Department, Sheriff's Office, we have spent a great deal of time planning and communicating and exercising our plans in real time because of weather events and other events that have taken place since then, and really even before then. The city of Baton Rouge, the parish of East Baton Rouge should be very proud of the emergency management that goes on here. We're one of the, I would say one of the top in the country. And again, unfortunately, it's due to practice. Practice provides good muscle memory, and we have good muscle memory right now. With the last storm that came through, we had some indication that we were going to receive some high water, some bad weather, some rain. We certainly looked to our neighbors in Lake Charles to see what took place there. But there are some preparations that we put into place during our meetings every week at the police department, as well as Homeland Security and the mayor's office. And I'll let you, Captain, talk about some of those preparations.
Right. Wayne, it seems to me that you, since you're the Uniform Patrol Commander, you've got all of these men and women on the street, but you don't have a lot of high vehicles.
Correct.
You've still got a lot of Chargers on the road. Those are not exactly good swimmers. You've got some of the Expeditions and some of the Ram.
Right, Tahoes.
Those are a little higher.
Correct.
So how do you deploy, or is it kind of case by case? We get this call, we're going to run here. Like, it takes 4 of you at least 30 minutes to go ahead and get that damned Acadian underpass blocked off, which we know is going to flood if somebody spits at La Divina. So,
correct. That is true. And first off, I'd like to say it's South Louisiana, blessing and a curse, both those things. And as far as in law enforcement with the weather, it's a blessing for us because we get so much practice in events like this, but it's also a curse because of the damage that does happen. As far as our response, we've had so much practice over the years, and we have learned from mistakes in the past, and we've learned from some things we did right also. You just happened to mention about the vehicles that we had, particular ones. That is being rectified now. In fact, on the purchase of our new vehicles, that was taken into account because
you lost a bunch in 2016.
Yeah, we lost some on this one also. We lost quite a few on this also. So we're going to getting a higher vehicle, possibly a Tahoe or something like that, is what we're looking at purchasing now that will solve or help eradicate some of that problem. But as far as our response to it, it's no different than any other day in law enforcement when we have a storm like this. A lot of the work that we do as police officers is not law enforcement, it's just assisting the public. Yeah. So if we have things that happen that we've already pre-planned before, even if it's an emergency, we know what we need to do. We know who we need to contact. You mentioned a particular roadway we know is going to flood. So getting in contact with our partners to get barricades set up there. If there's something that arises before that can happen and someone needs help, always with the police department, the protection of life comes first.
Speaking of that,
yes, sir.
Not in B.R.P.D's jurisdiction, but at the Blue Bonnet Railroad underpass, apparently somebody died in their car there late at night, driving into that water that they didn't know. I mean, it's sheriff's jurisdiction, and they didn't know until the next day when they were trying to get that area cleaned out that you had loss of life with this storm.
Yeah, and that does happen, and in 2016 was really bad. Hopefully we'll never have anything on that scale as that, but we learned a lot on that also, and I think the public did too. We had a really good response from the public because they saw when that happened, police officers got out of police cars, brought their own boats to work. They're out there in shorts. Their own houses were flooded, but they were at work helping other people get out. Our jurisdiction, not our jurisdiction, really wouldn't matter. We would stop to help anyone. It is dangerous. That's why we would like for people to take heed when these emergency messages go out, such as from the Mayor's Office of Emergency Preparedness, when it's saying you need to stay off the road. These weather alerts come out, it's for that reason. Water can rise quickly. And even our police officers in the middle of the night riding around can see that the water doesn't look that deep, but it is.
But it is.
So during, like I said, our top priority is the preservation of life. So the police officers going out there trying to make sure people are okay. Then we worry about your property. Okay, what can we do to mitigate, whether it's blocking off roads to keep people from flooding their cars out. If it's, some people get frustrated because it may take us a while to get their car out of the roadway that's been flooded, but still that turns into a property thing that we're trying to help people's lives. We'll come help you get out of there, but your car might sit there for a moment. We have to prioritize the need. It's like triage. What is the most, in human life is the most important.
What happens with our normal garden variety crime during one of these events?
So we have to adjust our manpower. We have to understand what the demand is. Fortunately, B.R.P.D. has some real good analytics that we can use to see, you know, what I'll call for service volume is at any particular moment of the day. Where is those calls for service? Where is that demand? Where are those heat maps and what is it telling us? So we're able to make some adjustments. And unfortunately, yes, there are times when we have to call people, we have to call officers and recall them back to work to handle the service at hand, the need at hand, which, look, there's calls for service that have to be handled. There's rescue calls. During that period of time, I think our call volume, I think it rose up. We had a 35% rise in call volume during that particular event. And again, the event dictates the response. You know, we allow the event, we prepare, we pre-stage barricades, we know where we know what we know, so we mitigate what we know, and then there are the unknowns that come about that we have to make adjustments for.
The call volume on that, it's just different. The call volume went up, but mostly it was traffic stuff, congestion, stalled cars, waterway, people wanting help like that, as opposed to maybe shoplifters or something like that. So it changes. And generally speaking, on the crime aspect, when you first have some kind of catastrophe like that, that goes down a little bit, because that's affecting everyone. Now, over a period of time, it may go up, and some people may try to take advantage of something, like if power is out and flooding, alarms may not be on, they think that, so they might be more apt to go commit a crime. Well, the police department's still there. We know where to put our resources at. All police officers know, and their families know, when something big happens, mom or daddy probably is not going to be home. Okay, because that law enforcement officer is going to be at work. Your days off are probably going to be canceled. You're going to be working longer hours because it's your job, and your family has to kind of know how to take care of themselves, which ours, they just grew up in that way.
I was surprised a week ago, right about this time, I was on Bluebonnet Boulevard, and there were cars that looked like they had been tossed out of a giant bag that were not functional, and they were blocking roadways completely and all that from the night before.
Correct.
How difficult is it for you all to help EMS make an emergency response, get somebody to a hospital, or you get to a scene, particularly if it's still raining or it's still dark and you might have cars and all that blocking the standard roadway you use? How difficult does it make it?
It makes it very difficult, especially at night. The main thing is that we can't help other people if we can't safely get to a location, right? If we can't safely get that patient to a hospital, assist EMS, fire. So you do have to make those adjustments, and sometimes it may require a helicopter, it may require a boat, it may require just getting out on foot and doing it the best you can. During that particular week, we at one point, and correct me if I'm wrong, Cap, at one point we had over 75 vehicles that littered South Sherwood Forest.
On there, there were, I believe, 30 in the roadway, not off the road.
I can believe it.
Essett Lane may have had up to 40 just in the roadway.
Right. And you have to clear that that infrastructure. Roadways are infrastructure, and you have to clear it to get the job done.
Yeah, I had to actually take a dog to a vet, and it was like, all right, well, we're gonna try this, and the vet is at college in Perkins and said, do not get on Essen Lane.
Right.
And the girl who was there talked to employees that had come and said, there are so many cars on Essen Lane, it looks like a CarMax.
Right.
Correct.
And that's why, these relationships with our partners and other agencies within city, parish government, state government are so important, because all we have to do is pick that phone up. We know where those resources are.
Absolutely.
We're going to take a brief break. Back with more of B.R.P.D. on Exiles TV. Please stay with us.
Right.
Bellello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing.
You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day.
Bellello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Hi, I'm Hurricane Betsy Barnes.
And I'm Dr. Kay Siller with The Rocket Right Show.
We are two busy blondes on the go showing off life in Louisiana.
Watch us on Pelican Sports Network.
And Talk 107.3 FM. Check local listings for times.
The first big sale of the year is here. The Dream Garage Spring Event is underway at Team Honda. For the first time ever, get $12.50 customer cash on every new 21 Passport, or get 0% for 60 months on every new 21 Pilot at Louisiana's #1 Honda dealer, Team Honda.
This is State Treasurer John Schroeder urging you to check your mailbox. We just mailed out $4.5 million of unclaimed property checks to people across Louisiana. Unclaimed property is lost money turned over to the Department of Treasury so we can return it to you. The process is so easy, you can claim it right from your phone. Check for yourself, check for your family, and don't forget to check your businesses. This is your money. Claim it. Check your mailbox. And cash your check. It's that easy.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With Private Healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private Healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready, and health insurance is your financial safety net. Health insurance has never been so easy and affordable. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, call the number on the screen now and speak with a live healthcare consultant. Don't wait. Get the coverage you need now.
Welcome back to Exiles TV. Nice to have you with us again. We're live at Bayou Barbecue on Coursey Boulevard. Come on by and have lunch. Deputy Chief Noel has dropped out for the moment. Lieutenant William Clarita joins us now. Bill, thanks for being with. Now, you have the same thing I do. Does everybody call you William? They call you Bill.
People that don't know me as well call me William. People that know me very well call me Bill.
Yeah, my wife.
It's like a friend test.
Yeah,
Yes.
my wife.
If you call
always-
me William, then I might owe you money.
Yeah, my wife says, "Why don't you go by William?" I said, "I kind of like Bill." Yes,
There
it
you
says
go.
William on my driver's license, but I kind of like Bill.
I'm with you.
We're going to continue our talk about emergency response and prepping for it. And I can remember, I've lived in Baton Rouge long enough now, I remember when the B.R.P.D. did all the rescue duties. You had rescue units that were housed with fire, and you responded with fire, but it was police officers. Do you still operate any type of a rescue operation at B.R.P.D.?
Not well. The rescue, we have what's called a dive team.
Yeah,
so
I know
if we
that.
need boats, and they can work in conjunction. They train with the fire department all the time. So we do have that. But mostly, we would rather be perfect at things. So there's people who specialize in stuff, such as the rescue with the fire department. They have time and equipment and training to specifically work on that. It's better to try to be really good at something and available for someone else to work. But our dive teams, it's not just diving out in the river to recover evidence or anything like that. They're used a lot with their boats during the flooding. So like you mentioned earlier, if someone needs to get to the hospital or they need help, they have different vehicles at their ready that they can use to be able to get to people and get them to the hospital.
LT, what kind of staffing do we normally have in uniform patrol? A normal day, it's not raining. Balls of fire aren't falling from the sky. We don't have people on top of a tower firing down. A normal day, how many folks in uniform patrol are out there?
It would depend upon the time of day you reference, because we put manpower according to need.
Yeah.
So if you run, say, a day shift, you're probably going to average throughout the city maybe close to 40 officers total. Depending upon the day, sometimes it might be a little bit more, but that's somewhat of an average. And it's the same 7 days a week. They do 2 different rotations. So.
And nobody rides double. It's so you got 40 units out there as well.
We do,
absolutely.
Yeah, we do typically.
And there's people that assist them also. That's only in uniform patrol. We have the traffic division, and if it's nighttime, K9 division. There's other divisions that are on the street, but that's strictly uniform patrol officers who are, like if you call 911 or something like that, they do that. Plus, they have the availability of their supervisors, usually 3 supervisors on the squad. That increases the numbers also on a normal day.
Well, like you said, you got support people.
Absolutely.
You've got your traffic patrol out there. You got your street crimes people.
We have that, and we have officers that are assigned strictly to telephone reporting unit to ease up some of the call volume. Like if you just want to make a report and it doesn't require a police officer to come respond to your house, you can call them. They can take the phone call over.
In the event of these critical type incidents, also our Criminal Investigation Bureau will stand up and respond out to assist for calls for service.
You're reading my mind. That was going to be my next question. That when it's in the fan, I would imagine the detectives, the Criminal Investigation Division, all that.
All hands on deck.
Can come on in.
Yes.
Crime scene people, things like that. Everybody can come through.
Yes.
So I was talking in the segment. I don't know if you heard it before this about this defunding the police, and I was just shocked that Minneapolis, which is a much larger city than ours, only has 200 sworn officers available right now total because of resignations and retirements at will because of their political climate. Give me an idea, how many sworn officers in B.R.P.D. right now?
Fluctuates, but we probably have right now, we're understaffed. So we probably have about 600 that are sworn, but that's all divisions across the police department. In uniform patrol per se, the ones underneath our umbrella, right now we have around 380 that's in uniform patrol. Then you also have CIB, special operations. So we are understaffed for what we need, so I could really understand the hurt they're probably going through. If they only have 200 sworn for that size of city, it'd be hard to serve the public.
Well, and we've talked with many of your colleagues. We've talked with Chief Paul about you all are actively recruiting officers. You would love to fill a couple more academies like right now, and you have a special program for people that are experienced police officers that might want to make a change.
That'd be the post program where officers from other agencies that are post certified can apply, and they come over, and the transition time to be able to be put out as an officer in the field, a fully functioning officer, is much less than what you would have as a new recruit.
In an emergency, when you basically have to do it right in terms of getting somebody or somebodies to the right scene at the right time, do you all have a big board, a mental picture, or an actual board that shows where everybody is and how you can move them around? Or do you have to just kind of say, who's closest, you go there first, we'll try to get you some backup, How does it work? I mean, do you have like an air traffic control center, I guess?
We do have programs that our computer-aided dispatch has access to, and that our real-time crime center has access to be able to determine locations of officers and need as to where they would need to be put. And also what Deputy Chief Newell referenced in terms of the logistics as far as where calls for service are more needed. That's what we utilize to be able to put those officers in those areas. But that also, when you stand up an emergency center, the real-time crime center in the past has been stood up to assist the MOSEP facility in terms of our localized guys to know where they're at, where the resources are needed, who's closest, that type of thing.
I have heard nothing but good things about this real-time crime center.
Oh, it's fantastic.
And I would imagine, since you are the guys that are, lights and sirens here, there, or just get over there without lights and sirens, or see this person, I would imagine you all utilize that the most. It's not the detectives and the investigators that are utilizing that the most.
It's actually a collaborative thing between the investigators and detectives. They do more of the follow-up / research type information to where they can do the closure on their cases. The first responders out in the field, the real-time crime center assists them with that real-time information that is needed to be able to get them, say, hey, we're going to this address, this guy, he's already wanted in a case previously, he has warrants, here's a picture of him, here's a vehicle he drives, that type of information in real-time application.
So I'm guessing that's kind of true to TV, or TV is being true to the way it actually works. Finally, when it comes to that.
It was like that on TV forever, but that wasn't real. We're now kind of catching up with television. So what you thought would have happened, the information we have, we actually have it now. We're finally catching up with Hollywood on that.
So I know that you have an intelligence part of the real-time crime center.
Yes.
That you have officers and analysts, that some of them are not police officers, some are from other agencies. And they give you a good idea of something that may be happening, and then you all disperse it.
A lot of times that would be if, while that real-time application is being assisted with the responding officers, the analyst can do the background to determine, like I said, if there's an open case on somebody, if they have the warrants. It's multiple minds thinking alike to be able to help that officer that's in the field that's trying to safely drive to get there and assist the public in a timely manner.
Do you ever get an early warning of something, and I mean not necessarily a weather event, but there's somebody that's in the wind from 1,000 miles away who is dangerous, and somebody says, look, got about a 60% probability this person's going to be in Baton Rouge. We know what they were driving last. Do you ever get a warning like that, so the officers on the street get a heads up more than 5 seconds before it's happening, to where they can really keep an eye on things?
Yes, we have. There's something as simple as a BOLO, which is be on the lookout. We'll have there possibly someone that commits a crime, say in Florida, and they have ties to Baton Rouge, or they believe that they're going to be driving through Baton Rouge. We'll get advance notice that all law enforcement will be told. Someone has done something, a description on them, possibly where they may be going, what kind of vehicle they're driving. We do have that. Well, we've had that for quite a while.
We've got about a minute and a half left, and I would ask each of you, what can the public, because most of us really do support our B.R.P.D. and we're very proud of you, but what can we do to help you when we have one of these big events? How can we help you?
What would help out greatly is listen to information that you're given. Know that actions you take may put others in danger, and cause them problems. If the streets are flooding in a neighborhood and you drive down the street, you may be putting water in people's homes because you're driving down the road. You also may become disabled and have someone have to risk their life to come save your life. If there's something that you need, someone who needs assistance, call the authorities and we'll be there as fast as any human can be there. So kind of listen to that, think, am I causing the problem to be worse, or am I helping? That's a big thing right there they could help us with. Listen to the warnings when they're given.
And if there's, unless there's an absolute necessity, stay in your homes. Let the event pass. Let us assist who is out there needing assistance. and we'll give the all clear when it's
Well,
applicable.
and we never want to deter anybody from calling 911 if
No.
they think they
Correct.
should.
Correct.
But it is for real emergencies. We do have a non-emergency number people can call.
Yes.
389-2000.
Yeah, 389-2000. If it's not a life-threatening emergency, call that number. You will get somebody from B.R.P.D. that will talk to you and send you help if you need that as soon as possible.
Yes.
Yes.
Fellas, it's always a pleasure having B.R.P.D. on with us. And we thank you for taking the time and for everything we do and you do, and let's do it again sometime.
Absolutely.
We're going to take a brief break, come back and wrap it up on Exiles TV. Stick around. All right.
Caught spiders. Premier Pest Services.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
From appetizers, pasta dishes, and entrees, La Contea takes pride in preparing all the Italian cuisine we know you love. Enjoy live music every Thursday through Saturday from 6 to 9, happy hour weekdays from 3 to 6, and brunch on Sundays from 11 to 2, as well as dinner portion-sized lunch specials for under $10. Visit our website to view our menu and book a party or meeting in our large banquet room. Once you try La Contea, your Italian dining will change forever.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to greystonecountryclub.com.
Hi, business owners. Phase 3. Woohoo! But do your customers know you're back? Well, that's where the Clarence Bug Show and Pelican Broadcasting can help. Right now, we've got great rates on advertising packages to help you get the word out. Shoot me an email at bugsclarence@gmail.com. Or better yet, call me up. I'd love to talk with you. 225-485-6839. Let's get together and make Phase 3 the best it can possibly be.
Got termites? Get Premier Pest. PremierPestServices.com.
Welcome back to Exiles TV. Glad to have you along with us. Again, we are live at Bayou Barbecue, 10655 Coursey Boulevard. And please come on out and see us. Try their food. It is really terrific. You're gonna want it over and over and over again. The minute you come on in and enjoy the ambiance, the people, the great service, and the great food here. Today is the day that they are having services for former Governor Buddy Roemer, who died last week at the age of 77. Buddy Roemer served 4 terms in the United States Congress, representing what was then the 5th District of Louisiana in the U.S. Congress, and he served 1 term as governor. Today, there will be a service at the Estruma Baptist Church. that started about an hour ago and will continue for another 2 hours. And then on Thursday, there will be a service in Shreveport. I got the opportunity to get to know Buddy Roemer 3 different ways. I got to know him when he was a congressman representing North Louisiana. I got to know him when he was running for governor, and that was that wild 3-way race that he prevailed in the first time, and the second time was when he did not prevail. And that was the race between Edwin Edwards, David Duke, and Buddy Roemer. And Edwin Edwards came back in for his final term as governor of Louisiana. And then I got to know Buddy Roemer as a banker. His bank, called the Business Bank of Baton Rouge, which still exists, did the construction loans on the house that Karen and I now live in when we were building our house. I will tell you this about Buddy Roemer. He was an interesting man. He was very, very well educated. He left Louisiana to go to Harvard University, and then he was named a Rhodes Scholar and studied at Oxford. But he was a country boy at heart. And I think that if he had been governor of this state in a different era, that the state of Louisiana would look very, very different today than the way it was. Buddy Roemer was a champion of education. Buddy Roemer realized that we couldn't get businesses to come into this state because our education was so poor. The president of Toyota Motor Company told Buddy Roemer in person when he was trying to get Toyota to locate here in Louisiana, they looked at him and they said, with all due respect, Congressman Roemer, and he was a congressman at that time, when we build a plant, we build it to last 100 years. And your education system will not supply the kind of skills we need today, tomorrow, or in 100 years. And he was absolutely adamant about education being the key to saving this state economically and socially. And he is also known as the man who made the lottery legal in Louisiana. That was a pet project of his long before we were considering having actual brick and mortar casinos. Buddy Roemer managed to get the Louisiana lottery through the legislature, with every penny going to education. Unfortunately, a lot of people thought that meant every penny was going to schools, which we all agreed with. But there's a difference between schools and the word education that was put in by the legislature at that time. And so, for a long time, it has since been corrected, there are a lot of people that were cash grabbing lottery proceeds for educational programs for social services, educational programs for Louisiana Department of Hospitals, educational programs for community centers, educational programs for parks and wildlife in Sabine Parish. Good old Louisiana politics at work. But Buddy Roemer meant well. He had a vision that those hundreds of millions of dollars would actually go into improving schools in the public sector in this state. It took about 15 years after he left the governor's office for that to get corrected, but the lottery money now does go to actual schools. However, I think the timing was bad. If we had undertaken these strong, harsh, non-politically correct education reforms in this state that Buddy Roemer pushed, when he pushed them, and I believe this was in 1988, I think we would have a lot more productive business climate. We would have a lot more well-educated populace. We would have a lot more ready workforce in the state of Louisiana right now. But it was not to be. If you remember, back in the late 80s and early 90s, we had a lot of people that didn't want this state to develop. There are a lot of these folks that were sitting on a few $1 million of their own, and they didn't want people that might have triple or 4 times or 10 times their wealth coming in, because they felt it would diminish their power and their influence, which it probably would. But that is the way politics was then. This is the way politics is now. And some of these things that Buddy Roemer fought for, he'd have to still be fighting for today. But anyway, he was a good guy. He had his quirks. He had that rubber band he used to snap whenever he got angry thoughts at people. He'd snap the rubber band instead of snapping at him. And God, there were a lot of political cartoons about Buddy Roemer and his rubber band. But he was a well-educated individual who never ever lost the idea of being a common man in Louisiana. And I hope a lot of people remember him for that. Buddy Roemer being laid to rest in 2 funeral services, one today in Baton Rouge, one Thursday in Shreveport. That does it for Exiles TV for today. We look forward to getting together with you next time. No rain in the forecast throughout our viewing area, at least for the next 24 hours. So that's good news. Come back and see us next time we get together. In the meantime, stay dry, stay safe, stay well. God bless. Bye-bye.